The loud atmosphere, but was immediately silenced by the Brewer bats and an impressive start by Willie Peralta. Tonight the ball goes to another Brewers pitcher with a hot streak intact, opposing one of the game's electric young arms. The crew looks to get out of town with a 2-game sweep, and it begins right now on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Back in Toronto, the sun out here. Evening ball game, and the Brewers are in town. And Brewers baseball against Toronto. Here we've got Bill Schroeder, Greg Cushon, and Jerry Augustine. The roof is closed because the cold front came through. 45 degrees. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin, presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. You could tell when that roof was closed here. It is dark. A different atmosphere inside this dome than it is inside Miller Park's dome. Craig Counsell, the third-year Brewers skipper, looking for a second straight win for his ball club on the road. Good start yesterday with the 4-3 win, spoiling the Blue Jays home opener, the first of 9 road games on a 3-city swing for Milwaukee. Take a look at his Potawatomi batting order tonight. It's going to be Villar. Thames gets the start tonight at first base. He sat out yesterday. He began his career here in Toronto. Then it's Braun, Shaw, Santana, Neuenhuis, Broxton, Bandy behind the plate, and Arcia at shortstop. Ryan Braun, the DH in tonight's game. And there's Marcus Stroman. He is set to take the hill now for Toronto. His second start coming up. Looked pretty sharp a week ago, pitching into the 7th inning, allowing just an earned run.
Yeah, and he was pitching in some pretty intense baseball in spring. WBC, we talked about it, the tournament MVP for the U.S. who won the WBC. 25 years old. He's only 5'8", so he's not a big guy. 180 pounds, but boy, he can throw that baseball. A lot of different pitches, a lot of different arm angles, and a big-time ground ball pitcher, Marcus Stroman. Well, let's check out the Menards Blue Jays defense. You got Pierce, Pilar, and Bautista in the outfield. Darwin Barney gets a start at third base. He did not play in yesterday's game. Tulowitzki, Travis up the middle, Kendrys Morales at first, and Russell Martin, the Gold Glove catcher, behind home plate.
Check out the umpire and crew here tonight. Jerry Lane, the crew chief, will call balls and strikes in this series finale. Marvin Hudson over at first, Dan Bellino at second, and Mike Estabrook over at third base tonight. And they were busy last night. There were 3 reviews in play. But the Brewers prevailing before all said and done. They got the early lead, and they were able to hang on and win it 4-3. Here's Jonathan Villar leading off. Has not missed a game yet. Game number 9 on the young season for Milwaukee. They come in with a 3-5 record. And Stroman sets for the first pitch, and it's right over the plate. Strike 1. Villar at 143 to start out the season. Slow out of the gates offensively. He does have 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. And Tulowitzki guns him down for the first out.
Well, get used to that. I mean, Stroman, not a hard thrower, 92, 93 with a fastball. Gets an awful lot of ground ball outs. 61.4 ground ball ratio, ground balls to flyouts. That's best in baseball.
And quite a change from Jay Happ, last night's starter for Toronto. We saw the Brewer bats. That ball was flying off the bats, off the walls, couple of home runs. Some timely hitting by Milwaukee. Here's Eric Thames, the former Blue Jay. Numbers in 6 games as a Brewer, pretty good right out of the gates at .333 after spending the last 3 years playing in the Korean Baseball League. Began his career here in Toronto back in 2011 when he made his major league debut.
Yeah, it'd be exciting for him to be in the lineup here tonight in Toronto.
Yeah, we had a chance to talk to him during batting practice today, and he was pretty amped up, I think, getting to the ballpark yesterday, but he didn't get a chance to get into the lineup. But tonight's his night against his old team. Tulo busy to start out. Look at that throw right on the money. 2 down.
A big sink from Marcus Stroman. He Gives you a few different looks. He'll turn the back once in a while, just like Johnny Cueto does every so often, and he gets big movement going away. You can't try and pull this guy. Big sink. He's got a cutter. He throws 5 different pitches, so you got to be ready. He'll throw anything at any time.
Ryan Braun, the batter. He is Milwaukee's designated hitter tonight. 2-game interleague series gives the Brewers an extra bat for a couple of games. Ryan played left field in yesterday's game, the DH here tonight. .250 on the season. Last night he had a base hit in his final plate appearance. 1 for 4 officially, also walked.
Little hesitation right there for Stroman already, trying to mix it up a little bit. He's got that delivery a lot like Jimmy Nelson, very abbreviated windup with nobody on base. Almost looks like he's out of the stretch, but then he'll start a very short windup and then come firing to home plate.
There's a strike into Braun.
95.
That's bringing it a little bit for him. He's usually low to mid 90s. 95 may top it off. We'll see. Here's the 1-2. Braun stays alive. Do you see that movement at the very end of that pitch?
Yeah, big slider.
Yeah. Ryan Braun likes to play the American League. 306, 26 home runs, 111 RBIs. Boy, when you flash those career numbers up from Ryan Braun, it's amazing how similar they are. Interleague play, playing the Cubs, going to Wrigley.
Just consistent, right?
Numbers a year ago very similar to that.
He really doesn't have, one of those splits that say, wow, he doesn't do good in this situation, but it's kind of the hitter he is.
Here's the 2-2. And right to first, Morales over there. And he beats Braun to the bag. And the Brewers go 1-2-3. Chase Anderson set to come out. Center here in Toronto. John Gibbons in his 10th season as the Blue Jays manager. Got a nice record right there. They've gone to the American League Championship Series each of the last 2 seasons, but lost. So they're trying to get back, but a tough start as we take a look at the Potawatomi batting order. It's going to be Travis Bautista and Donaldson back in there after missing yesterday's start. He's the DH. Morales, Tulowitzki, Martin, Pierce, Pilar, and Barney, the third baseman, will bat 9th. There's Chase Anderson on the hill to start this one out.
Yeah, making his first ever start against the Blue Jays. He has faced 2 guys in his starting lineup, Tulowitzki and Russell Martin, coming off a very good start his first time out back at home against Colorado.
Chase Anderson dialed in to begin the season, wants to continue that here on the road. Boy, this was quite an atmosphere in the home opener yesterday here in Toronto. It was as loud as any ballpark could possibly get. And the Brewers did very well. They jumped on top of J. Happ in the first inning and never surrendered the lead.
They have 48,000 plus here at the ballpark.
Oh, 2 pitch low, ball and 2 strikes.
Well, Chase had a good spring training. Had 279 earned run average. 6 earned runs in 19 in the 3rd innings for Anderson. Oh, Devin Travis off to a bit of a slow start.
And Anderson a good start with the strikeout. So 1 down here in the first, and Travis goes down.
It looked like a curveball. You can see Bandy able to get it right before it hits the ground. Swing and a miss, 79 miles an hour. Not sure what happened there. Did he get hit with the bat? Kind of took him a while to get it out of the glove and on its way to 3rd base.
That was a mighty swirling swing by Travis. Here's Jose Bautista playing right field on consecutive nights.
Yeah, Bandy got on the side of the head. Yeah, that's why it took him a while to straighten up and throw it to 3rd base.
I think he caught part of his face there, not just the protection around it either.
Good way to start the day.
You awake?
Nice little wake-up call, right?
Batista and the Blue Jays had a tough night last night at the plate.
Man, Willie Peralta outstanding, throwing hard. I mean, he was throwing hard all the way through his 6 innings. You know, 95, 96 miles an hour for Willie. Good slider. Well, he's off to a good start.
Yeah, he gutted out that 6-inning performance, 112 pitches. Fly ball to center, Keon Broxton. And there's 2 down.
Well, let's check out the Nards defense for Craig Counsell's defense here tonight. You got Neuenhuisen left, drawing the DH. Broxton Santana. You got Travis Shaw. He was the designated hitter in last night's game. Spames at first. Arcia Villar up the middle, and Jet Bandy behind home plate.
Neuenhuis makes his first start in left field here in 2017. This is his 3rd start overall. Typically spots Keon Broxton in center field, but with the DH in place, Braun plays the bat, and Neuenhuis in the outfield gets an opportunity.
Yeah, that AstroTurf can be tough on the back, and Ryan does have the back issues from time to time, and keep his bat in the lineup, have him DH when he can here in the American League ballpark.
Yeah, we were talking to him today about that, and he said he could feel it by the end of the night. This surface underneath the turf is pretty solid. They were hoping with this new surface that they put in that would soften up and get a little closer to the dirt and grass, and it's probably done that. But when you're not used to it, like a lot of teams that only come through here once, like Milwaukee,
it takes a while to get adjusted to that AstroTurf, particularly in the outfield. Ball bounces a lot more. We saw that in play last night.
And Jerry Augustine was talking about that on Brewers Live pregame. Jerry's down near the dugout. He's joining us for the game again here tonight. Did a nice job of covering up for the interviews that we did during the post-game show last night as well. Always good to have Augie aboard. This one hit hard. And Neuenhuis gets underneath it. First chance out in left field. And a 1-2-3 inning for the Blue Jays. Now Milwaukee. Shaw is set to lead off the cleanup hitter when we come back. Brewers coming to bat here at the top of the second inning, facing Marcus Stroman. And Marcus Stroman, we talked a little bit about him earlier. Last year, just 9-10, an off year for him. He was considered to be the ace, but boy, did he bounce back nicely in the WBC. Was the MVP of the World Baseball Classic for Team USA with that big win over Puerto Rico. He had 6 no-hit innings intact. And a big surprise there. Puerto Rico had some big-time bats going throughout that tournament, and this guy really shut him down.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, just like Willie Peralta, his success at the WBC.
Travis Shaw and Tulowitzki has been busy here. He's got 3 putouts already.
No, when you play in the infield with Marcus Stroman on the mound, you better be ready to have a busy night. A lot of ground ball outs. You look back at last year for Stroman. I mean, you know, he's had a 4.37 ERA, 9-10, 32 starts. Now remember, he missed just about all of 2015 with a knee prop, had knee surgery. He got hurt in spring training, so he was tinkering around with his delivery all season long. Now he figured it out, and certainly had a good spring, good WBC, and very good his first time out this year.
Well, it says a lot about him. He's quite a competitor. Very well liked by his teammates as Domingo Santana bats. He's big on social media, wants to have a huge hand in keeping in contact with fans and his peers.
That's a lot of ground ball outs right there.
It's been all ground out so far. The first 4 outs for Milwaukee all been on the ground.
He doesn't stray too far from that pitching rubber, does he? He likes to get it and go. Got to slow this guy down a little bit if you can step out.
1-2 to Santana, misses outside to even the count.
Just tries to keep you off balance. A lot of different deliveries. He'll pause a little bit. He did that to Santana. He'll speed it up once in a while.
And this one sliced down in right field, and Santana may have a long single. He's going for 2, and the play is late. So Santana, a 1-out double to right, and his bat is suddenly becoming hot over the last 3 games.
And his bat, he's starting to go to right field. I mean, right center, and this one right down the right field line. Jose Bautista has a terrific throwing arm, but because he's going so hard to the line, Santana realizes that he can get into second base. It was going to be a long throw. I don't know, it was a cutter or a slider, one of the two. He stays back nicely on it and rips it down that right field line. You can see the throw by Bautista, a little bit off balance, not able to get a whole lot on the throw.
Here's Kirk Neuenhuis, the left fielder. So the first base runner of the ball game. It's Domingo Santana, and he's in scoring position with 1 out. Neuenhuis 0-77. He has a home run and an RBI. But he, like many Brewers, off to a little bit of a slow start offensively. That was a little bit surprising considering how well he's hit at Miller Park in those first 7 games of the season at Miller Park. Be nice to see him on the road starting here tonight. Really pick up those road numbers. Not this time though. Morales with the putout. Santana advances to third.
No, that home road split for Kirk Neuenhuis, you know that's not going to happen again. I mean, he's going to be better on the road, maybe not as good at home. That stuff has a tendency to even itself out over time.
Yeah, he hit nearly 300 at home a year ago and just over 100 on the road. 290 at Miller Park last season, 127 on the road. Here's Keon Broxton. He had a nice ball game yesterday for Milwaukee. He got them on the board with a home run. He batted second in yesterday's game. And he also had another single, scored a couple of runs, stolen base, and RBI. A lot of good things happening for Keon Broxton, especially early in yesterday's game.
Yeah, starting to shorten up and laying off that high fastball.
This one to right. Bautista, he's not going to get it. And Milwaukee's going to take the lead. Broxton on the run, and he'll settle for an RBI double. Nice piece of hitting with 2 outs.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, as a bullet. I mean, both of the hits in this inning, ringing doubles to the opposite field. I guess Darnell Cole's got to have a big smile on his face down in that dugout. Check this out. Middle away, a 4-seamer, and Broxton centers on it. Goes right with it. 95 miles an hour. Didn't know he had that in him. And able to hit that one over the head of Bautista, and the Brewers on the board first once again tonight. A good looking swing. Both of them, Santana, now Broxton.
Well, this is one thing that we have seen in the 2 games of this series so far is Jet Bandy bats that we didn't see much of at all, and that's the Brewers playing with a lead. They've been able to do that here in Toronto thanks to this guy. So Broxton delivers for the 2nd straight night, getting his team out in front early in the ball game. 2-0 now to the Brewer catcher. Jet Bandy, Manny Pena doing a great 1-2 punch behind the plate defensively and also offensively.
Yeah, both of them off to a great start. And Craig Counsell feeling pretty comfortable regardless of who he puts behind home plate. You're not losing anything with either one of them.
Pena had a career high 3 hits in yesterday's game and has his average to 429.
And being pretty careful with Bandy. You got Arcia on deck.
3-0 to Bandy with first base open. And he walks.
Man, it looked like he was pitching around Jet Bandy to get to Arcia. Nothing even close to home plate.
Shortstop number 3, Orlando Arcia.
Here's Arcia, the shortstop, batting in the 9th hole again. 158, 3 hits. And Craig Counsell talked about Arcia's wonderful defense that seems to be getting better each game. We saw him dazzle a couple of times in yesterday's game. And then talking about the lack of offense right now. But this kid right now may come through. Bautista makes the catch. Oh, he robs Orlando Arcia of an extra base hit for sure. But the Brewers come up with a couple of doubles. Broxton finishes with a 2-out RBI double. Milwaukee takes the early lead. Produce a run. We go to the bottom of the 2nd now with a 1-0 advantage for Milwaukee. Chase Anderson back out on the hill, and the cleanup hitter Kendrys Morales, the first baseman, set to lead off. Morales, a switch hitter. 286 with a home run and 6 RBIs. We laughed a little bit yesterday. He was chugging around the bases, scoring on a double from first base, and they had the towels out in the dugout. He was breathing hard.
Scoring all the way from first base, you bet. That's a long run.
Yes, indeed it is. The first-year Blue Jay.
Getting up there in age.
Yeah. Morales has been around a while and he's brought his bat to Toronto.
And the only left-handed hitter that Chase Anderson is going to deal with here tonight. The switch hitter. Nice changeup, back to back.
Gets Morales on the strikeout. That's his second strikeout. Take a look at our car soup scoop from the clubhouse. What's going on in Craig Counsell's day today? The pitchers improving their delivery with runners on. That certainly has helped Manny Pena and Jet Bandy gun down runners. And Matt Garza is scheduled to make a AAA rehab start. In fact, he's going to make 2 here. 1 this week as he tries to work his way back into that Brewers starting rotation.
It'd be interesting to see what happens if in fact he's ready to come back and be active.
Here's Tulowitzki.
A lot of options the Brewers have with that, but you know, that whole thing with pitchers helping the catchers holding on runners, it's been a big deal this year, and it's a fine line that you walk, trying to be a little bit quick to home plate. You risk losing a little bit of command and maybe some velocity when you're trying to worry too much about the base runner, but they've walked that line pretty well. Willie Peralta was pretty good last night. Willie's been impressive so far. 2 very good starts.
Shaw at third. A little high throw picked up by Thames, and there's 2 down. We were talking about Arcia yesterday, made a couple of dazzling plays, and Craig Counsell talked at great length before the game about how much he enjoys defense like this. And that's kind of his signature move there. That's actually easy for him.
Yeah, well, it's all instincts for Orlando Arcia. He's just so good. A little backhand shovel pass right out of the glove to Villar to get the lead runner. And as long as Arcia continues to play defense like that, it really doesn't matter what he's going to do offensively. I mean, he's going to get days off, and they might double switch him out of the ball game, but you know, he's 22 years old. He's going to learn how to hit. It kind of reminds me many years ago, a 22-year-old J.J. Hardy, when he came up to the Brewers. Outstanding defense. He was really struggling to swing the bat. There was talk about maybe sending him down. You know, Ned Yost, Doug Melvin, they stuck with him, and look what J.J. Hardy's become. He's become a good hitter, tremendous all-star shortstop, and you would expect the same out of Orlando Arcia.
Yeah, JJ, a long career, and we'll see him when the Orioles come to Miller Park later this year. It was interesting that that last backhanded play that you saw on that highlight reel from yesterday with Arcia. Craig Counsell was saying this is one guy that you have to allow take risks, because you know he's going to make plays most of the time. And one could argue that if you know what you're doing, it's not a risk, and you feel like this guy certainly knows what he's doing defensively, has great instincts.
Well, Russell Martin staring him down. Not saying anything, but I'm a little close.
Russell Martin's been around a long time. The old veteran looking at Chase Anderson.
He's got a little fire in his belly.
I don't know if you want to get this guy mad right now. He doesn't have a hit yet this season.
Yeah, let sleeping dogs lie, right?
Yep. Don't wake him up. 0 for 18. Last year he started 2 for 30 at the plate, but still bounced back nicely. Some guys have slow starts in the month of April, and Martin might be one. Chase Anderson, another strikeout. That's 3 in the first 2 innings. Brewers lead at 1-0. ago, the Brewers with a 1-run lead over the Blue Jays. And let's check out our minor league report for Milwaukee with the Timber Rattlers. It's Ronnie Gideon. Nice night last night in the doubleheader. In game 1, 1 for 2 with an RBI double. And game 2, 3 for 4. He had the walk-off 3-run double in that nightcap as the Timber Rattlers split their doubleheader with Burlington. Good stuff there as we love to check in on what's going on in the Brewers minor league organizations. A lot of big stars, and the Brewers, of course, a top 5 minor league organization in all of baseball. A lot of guys are going to be knocking on the door real soon.
You've been to that ballpark in Appleton?
Yes, sir.
Nice ballpark for A-ball.
It really is.
Yeah.
Right off the highway there, easy to get to.
Yeah, a lot of talent down in that minor league system for the Brewers, all the way from top to bottom.
Top of the order, Jonathan Villar. And right into center field with the base hit. And Villar, big turn. And goes back to first.
And Villar with his arms up saying finally. He's hit some balls hard, but right at some fielders. He did it a couple of times in last night's game. This time shoots this one right back through the middle. That's exactly what you have to do against Stroman. You can't try and pull it. That ball trying to sink away from Villar. He stays back and hits it hard right back through center field.
He does not wear his emotions on his sleeve at all, does he?
No. Very quiet, very diminutive.
Yeah. Humble.
Not a whole lot going on, right?
All right, runner aboard for Eric Thames. As we mentioned, he broke in with the Blue Jays in the majors back in 2011. First year and a half pretty good for him with Toronto, but they decided to trade him away to Seattle. And he didn't put a full year in with them and decided to take his show to Korea, where he spent the last 3 years. With the runner on the go, ball fouled back.
Yeah, after his season last year in Korea, there were a lot of suitors for Thames. They wanted him in Korea again, of course. Japan, you know, there was a few teams in the major leagues that wanted him. He decided to sign him with Milwaukee. He figured he had a pretty good chance of getting a lot of playing time, that 3-year contract that he signed. And he's off to a good start.
Yeah, he was probably thinking, well, I'm batting about 260 and driving in some runs. And then he was traded to Seattle, and then they sent him to Baltimore, and Baltimore sent him to Houston. All in a very short amount of time. And Villar just gets back. Brewers last paid a visit to Toronto back in 2014 in interleague play and were swept in the 2-game series there. That one gets past Martin, and Villar trots down to second.
Yeah, not sure what happened there. That was a pretty good pitch, close to being a strike. It didn't bounce. So Martin just missed it. Yeah, maybe that rough start is starting to get into his head a little bit. That'll be a pass ball. That rough start at the plate. Yeah, right off the end of the glove.
Two balls, 2 strikes to Thames, and he strikes out. Here's the first out here in the 3rd.
Well, batting the first strikeout for him. Looked like a slider down and in. Marcus Stroman able to get one right under the bat. Down and in, 87 with the slider.
Here's Ryan Braun. Got a runner in scoring position out there at second base with 1 down.
Yeah, they got the big shift on for him. Travis is playing on the first base side of the bag, so it's not really going to go down as a shift in the book. But I don't know about doing that with Ryan Braun. He hits a lot of ground balls in that direction.
Well, you're not kidding.
He's very good hitting the ball to right on the ground. Not many are.
I would imagine he's a tough guy to put any shift on.
Right. I mean, he hits the ball all over the diamond.
Fouls one off to the right side.
It could very well be they're more concerned about Villar getting a big lead and stealing third base with the left side of the infield pretty far back. And friggin' Braun might not hit one over there. He's trying to keep Villar close to second.
Villar with 1 stolen base this season. That low batting average, he's not had many chances to be on base. Led all of baseball a year ago was 62.
And if you're at second base with Ryan Braun at the plate, if you go, you better make it. He got thrown out in those situations a few times last year. That's a mistake you can't make.
And the throw out there, and they get him. Boy. This is not the start to 2017 that Jonathan Villar would ever have envisioned.
Yeah, that's not even close either. I mean, he had a big lead. Travis is right on top of him. He's getting some more, and I mean, he never gets back to second base. I mean, he's out by 3 feet. That's just concentration. There's no excuse to get picked off with Braun up, and you're at second base.
And Braun grounds out to second for the final out. As we head to the bottom of the 3rd inning, the Brewers with a 1-0 lead over the Blue Jays. Brewers are run on 3 hits. The Blue Jays have not had a base runner yet. Steve Pearce is set to lead off, the number 7 hitter. And we just saw Jonathan Villar get picked off second base. He was out there in scoring position. And a miscue on his part. He's had a tough time defensively as well. Craig Counsell was talking about that before the game. He made no bones about it. He says he's struggling defensively. He's got to obviously pick it up.
And again, I mean, you can only go so far to say that the new position is kind of got him a little bit unnerved, but I think it's a little bit more than that. I'm not sure. I mean, there's some plays that he has not been able to make that you really can't use the excuse he's never been at second base before. And covering the bag, and it was a high chopper in yesterday's ball game. He just couldn't keep in his glove and make a throw to first. Just pressing, I would imagine. Just trying to do too much. I know that's a stale old cliche, but that's the only thing you can think of.
This one right down the line. Shaw's got it. Long throw for the first out. Well, the Brewers aren't using the excuse, and neither was Craig Counsell, about him being in a new position. He says he's struggling defensively.
He's got to let him work his way out of it. He's one of those guys that you're planning on using in the future. I'll let him make his mistakes and hopefully snaps out of it quickly.
He's the only one in the lineup that has started and played every game so far. Broken bat foul. Kevin Pillar at the plate. He gets some new lumber.
And Chase Anderson, in the meantime, has really been showing good command with his pitches, every single one of them. I mean, he struck out Russell Martin with a couple of good changeups. He's been able to come inside to these right-handed hitters effectively. Hasn't left anything out over the plate. And his curveball's been good. Very sharp, late breaking curve.
Little roller to Villar. And there's 2 down.
It's that curveball we're talking about. That one right off the end of the bat. Good downward break on it. Nice tight rotation. And check out where it starts and where it finishes. I mean, that's a pretty good breaking pitch. Right off the end and easy out to Villar. Starts at the top of the strike zone, ends up right at the bottom of the strike zone.
Two down to the number 9 hitter, Darwin Barney. Right field, Santana just moves a few steps for the 3rd out. 9 up, 9 down for Chase Anderson. We head to the 4th.
So Brewers with a 1-0 lead, and the crew returns to Miller Park on Thursday, April 20th, to begin a 4-game set against the Cardinals. Check out the complete weekend schedule and get your tickets today at Brewers.com. Yadier Molina and the St. Louis Cardinals. Molina just signed a 3-year deal.
And a lucrative one.
Yeah.
Always had a stellar career with the Cardinals. Whether or not he'll play out that 3-year, I think it was a $60 or $80 million deal, if I'm not mistaken. It's pretty nice money.
Yeah, what he provides to the Cardinals, I gotta believe if anybody's worth that kind of money.
And you know, it's a longevity thing too, I'm sure. It's
right.
What you've done for us. Here's Travis Shaw, top of the 4th against Marcus Stroman. 1-0 Milwaukee lead. Brewers were able to plate a couple of runs back in the 2nd.
Yeah, Travis Shaw, the only Brewer in the starting lineup that has ever seen Stroman before. 5 for 10 coming in, so he's had good success.
I said a couple of runs. I meant a couple of doubles produced a run as Shaw grounds out to second. Well, Stroman and Chase Anderson pitching well here early. Let's bring in our pitching expert down near the Brewer dugout. And Jerry Augustine, and your thoughts on Stroman so far here, Augie?
Well, they said last year they did a lot of changes with his delivery. Went to some abbreviated changeup. You're seeing a lot of guys doing that. Jimmy Nelson's doing it with the Brewers. But what it does, it allows you to get to your balance point and get your arm up on top and be more consistent. You know, Rock was talking about the different looks he gives. He gives it with leg kicks and being quick with the delivery. But the one thing it does very consistently, it gets him to that good balance point and getting the arm up, so he's very consistent in coming to the plate. That's where you see the good sinking fastball and that good slider that he has.
Man, he's been pounding the strike zone. A lot of ground ball out. 7 so far. Only 1 fly ball out. That was that line out by Arcia back in the 2nd inning. Watch the way he balances off his back leg. I mean, he could stand there for a while, just kind of lay it out there, go quickly, but it's that balance point on the back leg and then firing the home plate. That's where you get that consistent delivery.
Ball and 2 strikes to Domingo Santana. He had the first hit off Stroman back in the 2nd inning. A 1-out double, and then Keon Broxton brought him in with a 2-out double. Well, there's something to be said about Santana and Broxton getting their bats going right now. They've had the brunt of the starts along with Ryan Braun, of course, in that outfield. Be really something that the Brewers could get those 3 as a highly productive outfield together.
Yeah. And need them all to be swinging the bats well.
Did not have that for most of the first half of last season. And a strike 3 called on Santana.
That's just nasty. He started off the edge with that late break, with that late movement, catching the outside corner. There's nothing you can do with that pitch. Even the best hitters, all you can do with this is to foul it off and try to get a mistake next. Might have got a little bit off the outside corner. 94 miles an hour. Russell Martin holds it there nicely.
2 down for Neuenhuis. He grounded out to first, his first time up the plate. The ground ball to Lewitsky. He's had a busy night already. There's the final out here in the top of the 4th for the Brew Crew. And Chase on his way back out.
On the air talking about the command, and good command for Chase Anderson so far this year. Started in spring training with all of his pitches. I mean, curveballs for strikes when he needs to throw them for strikes, working on the edges, and he's always got that curveball working. When he's got everything else working, there's that cut fastball in the outside corner. Great changeup to get Russell Martin. Everything working for Chase, keeping it off the white of the plate.
And he opens up against Devon Travis, the top of the order for the Blue Jays as we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Anderson really mixing his pitches well. It's been 9 up, 9 down as we head to the 4th now. First pitch strikes have a lot to do with that. 9 of the first 10 batters so far. It's been strike 1 for Anderson.
And he's had good command coming inside. You got to come inside once in a while when you really want to get outs away. Got to keep him honest on the inside corner.
Chase and his wife Anna during the offseason last fall welcomed their first child into their home, Robert Hunter. Robert after Chase's dad, and Hunter is Anna's maiden name. Came up with the first and middle name there. Robert is Chase's first name, but he goes by Chase, and he's named after his father and his grandfather. So it's great to keep that all in the family. And I know when we saw Chase at spring training for the first time, he couldn't stop talking about that little guy now in his house. Ground ball, Arcia for the out.
And he says he's a pretty good sleeper, at least at this point. That's always an important thing for a
How
ball
can
player.
that be? How do you people get all lucky with that?
Yeah.
Did not happen in our house.
No.
Not for about 8 months.
How about now?
Well, they're in and out now late at night.
Now,
so,
they're up all night, right?
Now they're up all night telling me I'm home at 2 in the morning. You woke me up to tell me that? There's Bautista.
That's a good pitch. Cut fastball right on the corner.
10 of 11 first pitch strike.
Yeah.
Anderson in a rhythm right now. There's another one on the inside corner.
Perfectly placed on the outside. Came right back on the inside corner. 2-seam fastball.
There's the 0-2. Foul back.
Oh, the changeup on 0-2. It's all about the consistency of the delivery. That's how you get good command. You're able to put the baseball where you want it. And Chase Anderson feeling it right now.
The 0-2 is high. Ball on 2 strikes. A little floater into foul territory, and Thames can't catch up with it. Rock, you talked about Anderson fighting for a spot in the starting rotation during the spring. Last year, he made 30 starts during his first season with Milwaukee. And his finish over his last 12 starts, 5-1 with a 2.56. And there's the first base hit of the game against Chase Anderson as Bautista reaches.
And Bautista with a changeup, and he's able to wait back and hit it hard into left. Not a bad changeup at all. It was down in the strike zone. The changeup doesn't have to be on the corners as long as it's down. That's not a bad pitch, but Bautista, a good hitter, able to wait back, center on it, and get the first hit for Toronto.
First hit, first base runner for the Blue Jays. Anderson retired the first 10 hitters. Josh Donaldson, the 2015 AL MVP. He's been battling a sore hamstring since Sunday. Did not start in the home opener last night, but came in late in the game as a pinch hitter in the 9th inning. And boy, what a thunderous ovation he received from the sellout crowd.
And Neftali Feliz struck him out. Right, bullpen work outstanding last night from Milwaukee. All three of the guys. Barnes, Knebel, Feliz, all throwing hard.
Well, the bullpen has been a major bright spot. They have been needed often. And this is a challenging lineup for the Blue Jays that just hasn't gotten their act together so far here in 2017. Donaldson really the only one hitting at this point. He came into the game hitting at .333, has 2 home runs. One of the best third baseman in the game right now.
Yeah, this guy on deck had a good night at the plate.
And he walks Donaldson, so a base hit and a walk with 1 down here in the 4th. You know, the interesting thing about Donaldson over the last 4 years, Rock, he's only missed 19 games.
Yeah.
He missed the home opener yesterday as far as the start goes. Been healthy.
Yep. Yeah, I tell you, putting up numbers like he's been able to put up by being out on the field consistently.
Here's Morales, the first baseman. First year with the Blue Jays. This is his 5th team in baseball. Spent the last 2 years with Kansas City.
Well, they lost a big home run hitter and they got another one, a different one. Morales with 30 home runs last year.
Encarnacion signed as a free agent, left the Blue Jays and went to Cleveland. And Morales waves at 1 to even the count. Blue Jays just 1 for 6 with runners in scoring position last night, but that's been a game-by-game issue for a team that is only 1-6, their worst start ever. They've lost 4 straight games. Nice pitch by Anderson, blew it past him. Ball and 2 strikes.
Yeah, struck him out his first time up on a changeup. So he's going with the hard stuff first 3 pitches.
Last 2 seasons with the Royals, Morales combined for 52 home runs. This one scooped up. Villar can't come up with the ball. Underhand throws and makes the play against the slow running Morales.
And nice play by Villar, just keeping it in the infield. Morales doesn't run well. Knew he had time and got the out at first base. As long as you get somebody on a play like this, little jam shot. And Villar knocks it down, but able to get the out at first. That saves the run for the time being. Nice play.
Almost looked like a soccer goalie there. Big bat right here at the plate for Chase Anderson and Troy Tulowitzki.
Yeah, be careful here. You got first base open. Tulowitzki with a big night at the plate last night. And Russell Martin on deck, who has yet to get a base hit.
Let's see what Chase Anderson does. Inside to Tulowitzki. Rushing him out of the batter's box. Anderson cruised by getting the first 10 Blue Jays. And then Bautista singled and he walked Donaldson. But there are 2 down here in the 4th. Going the other way this time. 2-0.
Man, nothing really close in the first 2 pitches. I guess the question is, why don't you just walk him? Put up the 4 fingers and let him go to first base. Go after Russell Martin.
Tulowitzki has 9 of Toronto's 22 RBIs on the young season. He had 3 in last night's game. But unlike this at bat, he had something to hit last night.
And he will be swinging 3-0 if they let him swing. They're going to let him go to first base. That's what they were wanting to do all along. Nothing really close to Tulowitzki in that at bat.
So they tried pitching around him and decided to put him on the intentional walk. All right, here's Russell Martin with the bases loaded. He does not have a hit in 2017. Enthusiastic crowd here at Rogers Center. Fouls the first pitch straight back.
That's kind of the way it goes when you're not getting hits. I mean, that pitch very hittable for Martin. He fouled it straight back. He'd like to have that one again.
Another one fouled back, so Anderson now a strike away of getting out of this jam. Bases loaded.
These first 2 pitches, I mean, literally almost right down the middle of the plate, fastballs.
Here's the 0-2. High and outside, a ball and 2 strikes. Bases full of Blue Jays here in the bottom of the 4th. First big threat of the ball game offensively for Toronto. And called strike 3. Anderson comes through with the off-speed pitch, and he strands the bases loaded. What a pitch by Anderson, and Milwaukee clinging to their 1-0 lead. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Toyota. Let's go places. Beautiful city of Toronto, where the Brewers are closing out their series against the Blue Jays. A 1-0 lead as we go to the top of the 5th inning. And Chase Anderson strands the bases loaded against Toronto, getting Russell Martin looking at strike 3.
Got him on a curveball pretty close. Jerry Lane rings him up. That's just good strategy, right? I mean, you walk Tulowitzki at first base open and make Russell Martin drive in the runs. Yeah, good work.
Well, it's good to see what Willie Peralta was able to do yesterday. Chase Anderson so far here. And this Toronto offense is not clicking at all. And if you can take advantage of some situations with first base open, walk Tulowitzki and pitch to a guy that hasn't had a base hit yet, who's in the lineup. You still got to swing the bat. You still got to get him out, and they did the job.
You know, sometimes that's the way it goes with teams that rely a lot on home runs. I mean, Toronto last year, 5th in all of baseball in homers. What was it, 221? They relied heavily on the home run ball. And when they're not swinging the bats well, they're going to go into stretches where they're not scoring.
Jerry Lane bringing up a few batters here tonight as Keon Broxton goes down.
There's that breaking pitch slider at 89 miles an hour right on the corner.
Got Santana right around that same spot in his last at bat in the 4th inning. Called strike 3.
A lot of pitches on the edges tonight for both pitchers, right?
That's absolutely right.
Making it difficult on the hitters.
Jet Bandy a big cut there on the first pitch.
They're both working quickly, a lot of confidence.
Bandy walked back in the 2nd inning. That's the inning Milwaukee scored the game's only run. Take a look at that last strikeout to end the inning for Anderson.
Yep, right at the top of the strike zone and ends up off the edge just a little bit, but that's been a strike all night for Jerry Lane. Fastballs and breaking pitches.
So Stroman and Anderson have both been able to take advantage of that expanded strike zone. Just misses inside from Stroman.
When you're throwing a lot of strikes, tendency is the umpire is going to give you a little bit, maybe an inch or two.
There's a called strike, and Bandy looks at Lane. That pitch was right where the last one was, and that was a ball. Count even, 2-2. Fly ball center field. Another easy out, 2 down. Well, it's time to secure your seats for the postseason as the Bucks make their final push for a playoff spot. Get your playoff 2-pack now for only $55 and guarantee your seat for the first 2 home games. Head to foxsportswisconsin.com/events for details. And the Bucks are in the playoffs. They're actually going to come to Toronto this weekend to face the Raptors to open up the first round. Arcia. Stroman waits for the bounce. Quick throw and a quick inning for him. 1-2-3 here in the 5th. We head to the bottom half of inning number 5. bottom of the 5th with a 1-run lead. Join Major League Baseball in the fight against cancer. Major League Baseball will celebrate the stories of fans who are going to bat against breast cancer in their daily lives by selecting one honorary Batgirl per club. Visit honorarybatgirl.com to submit your story. Contest ends today, so think about that and get them in. Be a great thing to take part. Steve Pearce against Chase Anderson here at the bottom of the 5th. 7, 8, 9 hitters coming up for the Blue Jays. Chase Anderson fighting through the meat of the order with Bautista, Donaldson, Morales, and Tulowitzki. Bases were loaded last inning, but he got out of it. Tough play here. Bandy makes no attempt. The ball just kind of died in the turf into no man's land.
Well, anyway on, and I guess that's a pretty good way. A swinging bunt by Pearce. I mean, you couldn't have rolled it out there any better than that. I mean, that's a terrific bunt, but a swinging bunt at that. Put that one in your pocket. First leadoff runner for the Blue Jays tonight.
Only the second hit given up by Anderson. Here's Villar, the center fielder. Runner goes. And a swing and a foul.
Looked like a hit and run. That ball not even close. Pearce not a base stealer, and I think Blue Jays just trying to get something going. You know, get the infield moved around. Villar swing at a pitch way inside. You don't see the hit and run too often.
Now the Blue Jays, I'm sure, Rock, desperate to get anything going offensively right now. An unexpected 1-6 start for them. Remember, they challenged in the last 2 years, making it all the way to the American League Championship Series, but they were defeated both times. And John Gibbons has a veteran team here now. A lot of players well over the age of 30. So if it's time,
yeah,
it might be this year.
Yeah, it's go time, right?
They're going to have to rebound after a rough start here, but it's only the first week and a half of the season.
I would imagine it's going to be a much different ball club that the Brewers see at Miller Park when the Blue Jays come to Milwaukee.
Yeah, they're coming in May to Miller Park. To short. Arcia take it himself and complete the double play. 6-3. That's the first double play of this series by either team.
Another good pitch by Chase Anderson, getting ahead in the count. Fastball, curveball. And Anderson able to get the ground ball. The double play easy for Arcia. That's some good movement on it. He'll take it himself. An easy double play on a changeup.
And with 2 down, here's the number 9 hitter, Darwin Barney. Shallow left. Arcia has a beat on it. It makes a nice catch. And a quick inning thanks to that double play for Chase Anderson. Heading to the 6th. Okay, Jeff. Yeah, Max Scherzer, last year's Cy Young Award winner, pitched pretty well in that game. Only gave up an earned run, 6 strong innings. That's a tough loss.
Yeah.
Top of the order for Milwaukee and Jonathan Villar. He had the good and the bad his last trip up in the 3rd inning. He had a base hit to lead off and then advanced to second on a pass ball and then was picked off big time at second base by a mile with Ryan Braun at the plate. This one hit hard center field all the way back and long gone for Villar. How about that for making up some lost ground?
Well, I'll tell you what, he takes that pitch, it's down and in. He's golfed it out of the ballpark a couple of different occasions so far in the first week plus. Boy, big power for Jonathan Villar. Gives the Brewers a 2-0 lead. That pitch was supposed to be up. It wasn't. And Jonathan Villar with that little slight uppercut launches one out of here to right center. A cutter that stayed in the middle part of the plate.
Here's Thames.
Well, that home run for Jonathan Villar, our Badger Mutual insurance run of the game.
I think right now Jonathan Villar is in a love-hate relationship with some Brewer fans. Love the home run ball. He's got 3. Love the fact that he made up for his mistake back in the 3rd inning. But it's when those mistakes happen, it becomes frustrating.
He'll smooth his game out. And maybe just trying to press a little bit. Remember Jonathan Villar turned down a long-term contract extension, and he's figuring he better have a good season.
Thames down the right field line. He turns and heads to second base, and he has a double. So a home run and a double to open up the 6th inning for Milwaukee. The former Blue Jay coming through against his old team.
Boy, Eric Thames so strong. Stroman able to get in on his hands on this pitch. See the way he pulls the hands in, opens up those hips. Watch the way the barrel of the bat goes right to the baseball on a pitch in off the corner and muscles it down the line for a double. Got quick hands.
Have to take all that hardware off too. Protection on the leg and his bicep. All right, Thames out at second. Nobody out for Ryan Braun. Braun 0 for 2 in this one. Shoots this one foul.
Yeah, they don't have the shift on for Braun now that Thames is at second. Not as dramatic as a shift. They have Travis behind the bag, really not worrying too much about Thames. So that shift with Braun up and Villar at second was all about keeping Villar close to second base.
One hopper to third, and Braun on the wide throw gets tagged by Morales, and Thames can't advance. And Braun coming up, looks like I don't know if he's limping or not right there.
Darwin Barney with one eye on Thames over there. Uncorks one a little bit off the mark. Not sure if Morales had to even come off the bag. He did, but able to slap the tag on Brawny as he went by.
So one down. Thames still out at second for Travis Shaw. Shaw 0 for 2 in this game. Yesterday he had a triple. Of his 8 hits so far this season, 7 are for extra bases. As you mentioned earlier, in his last at bat, he was 5 for 10 against Stroman coming into this game. The only player in the Brewers starting lineup that has faced Stroman. This one down the left field line, and it fades foul.
Man, that's what you like about Travis Shaw and his approach so far this year. The ability to shoot that ball to the opposite field. I mean, covers home plate extremely well, still quick enough on the inside corner. He's just got a very nice natural swing. Keeps the bat in the hitting zone a long time, and because of that, makes pretty consistent contact.
Good demeanor about him as well. He's been a good addition to this Brewer ball club. Down a ball and 2 strikes. Here's Stroman. And this one raked to second. Bobbled. But the play made as Thames advances to third. There's 2 down now. And here comes Domingo Santana. He's 1 for 2 in this game. Had a double and scored a run back in the second, and starting to swing that home run bat as we take a look at our Powerball home run total for Santana. It's up to 2 thanks to a pop at Miller Park and 1 here last night. Barney, and the scoop by Morales retires Santana. The Brewers get a run on Jonathan Villar's leadoff home run and double their lead, but it's still close. A 2-0 game. Team out in front of Toronto right now in the bottom of the 6th, and Fox Sports Supports is proud to team up with Girls on the Run and their dedication to empowering young girls and instilling confidence through running. Learn more about how you can get involved as a volunteer or participant at the upcoming Girls on the Run 5K in your area by visiting foxsportssupports.com. So Chase Anderson back out to work. Pitch count real nice at 65, now 66 as he works on a 2-hitter right now. Has not allowed a Toronto run. Only 1 big threat when he stranded the bases loaded back in the 4th inning. He's been sharp, effective, fluid as usual, and in command tonight.
And working very well with Jed Bandy. I mean, there's not a lot of shaking off. The pace has been very quick. He's been in good rhythm in large part because he and Bandy are on the same page.
He's got the top of the order here in Travis. Pop up. Bandy gives a look, but it heads to the seats.
Nothing more disconcerting for a pitcher when he's feeling good out there. He wants to work quickly, and he's always shaking off, trying to figure out what the catcher's thinking. I think both these catchers, Bandy and Pena, have done a nice job with this pitching staff.
Outside corner, strike 3 call. Well, that outside corner has been available to both pitchers here tonight.
You just can't hit this pitch. I mean, look where it is. I mean, that is down and away. There's not a whole lot you can do with that. Yeah, Jerry Lane has been consistent all night. I mean, you just talk about dotting the I on the outside corner. Chase Anderson, outstanding command tonight.
4 strikeouts for Anderson so far. Here's Bautista. He's got one of the 2 hits tonight against Chase Anderson. That came back in the 4th inning. Check that, 5 strikeouts for Anderson. Good night for Chase. He had a good start last week. Team ended up losing that Thursday game that he started. Only 1 earned run given up for him in 6 innings.
That Bautista shaking his head. 2-0 pitch right on that outside corner.
As Tommy pulls it foul, that'll even the count. After tonight, the Brewers jump on a plane and get back to the good old USA and head to Cincinnati for a 4-game series against the Reds, who are off to a really good start. Little roller to Arcia, and there is another out, 2 down.
Hey, tonight's time of the game winner, Carly's Bar and Grill in Milwaukee, if they call the Brewers. And by 8 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. It's offered courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Well, that was some smooth reading right there.
That's the way it's done.
That's a big makeup from the guy who read it last night.
Don't ever do it again.
There's Josh Donaldson.
It's a highlight of my night.
That was a highlight of my road trip yesterday when I got to read that. We're just getting started. Four in Cincinnati and then 3 in Chicago before the Brewers are back home for a 10-game homestand.
Yep, and every one of them on TV. Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Donaldson couldn't hold off the curveball there. That'll even the count, 1-1. We talked about that hamstring re-aggravation that he had in Sunday's game. He had issues with it during spring training. And even with the day off Monday, was not in the lineup in the home opener yesterday. Pinch hit in the 9th. You got the only hot bat not producing for you suddenly as well, battling a hamstring, and well, the rest of this team has just not come together yet for the Blue Jays. Brewers are hoping they can get three plus more innings in here and get out of Dodge before they do, right?
Yeah, but you got to give the Brewer pitchers a little bit of credit. I mean, one of the reasons why the Blue Jays up to this point, I mean, we got a long way to go in this one. You know, I've been kind of stymied because, you know, Willie Peralta, Chase Anderson have been outstanding in these 2 starts in Toronto. Bullpen good yesterday.
And Donaldson way out in front of that pitch and strikes out. And another 1-2-3 inning for Anderson, who now has 6 strikeouts through 6 innings and protects a 2-0 lead. Is brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Beautiful downtown Toronto. There's the Dome, Rogers Center where we are. And the Brewers a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jays as we go to the top of the 7th inning, and Chase Anderson getting that sweatshirt on to stay hot because he has pitched very well in this game so far. 79 his pitch count. Just 2 hits allowed, couple of walks, 6 strikeouts.
And he's had 4 different 3-up, 3-down innings tonight.
Here's Neuenheis to lead off the top of the 7th for Milwaukee. Both pitchers have pitched very well. Stroman gave up a run in the 2nd inning, a 2-out double by Keon Broxton, and then a leadoff home run last inning to Jonathan Villar. Neuenheis 0 for 2 in this game. Stroman, a former first-round pick for the Blue Jays back in 2012 out of Duke. Neuenheis strikes out. He was suspended for 50 games to start the 2013 minor league season for a failed drug test. And then, Rock, you talked about missing most of 2015 with that ACL surgery he had in his left knee. He used that time to finish his degree at Duke.
Yeah, good for him.
Yep.
And last year, first year back after, the knee surgery, and tried to find himself. Not terrible numbers.
And Broxton grounds out. You saw the Wendy's at the plate. He was responsible for the first run of the ball game.
That was the 13th ground ball out that Marcus Stroman has been able to get tonight. Amazing. Talk about a guy that is as advertised. A lot of ground balls. Good movement on everything.
Well, this Blue Jays pitching staff, the Brewers saw Jay Happ yesterday, Marcus Stroman here tonight. 2 completely different end result type pitchers. But overall, this staff expected to be probably in the top 5 of all of baseball. Obviously one of the best. And their pitching hasn't been the issue right now. It's just a complete lack of offense.
Yeah, averaging a little over 3 runs a game.
There's Bandy, center field, and this one's going to fall in for a base hit. So a 2-out base runner for Milwaukee here in the 7th.
Another good job by a Brewer hitter pulling the hands in on the pitch inside. Able to fight it off, muscles it into center field. Watch where this pitch ends up. And watch Bandy able to pull the hands in close to the body and get enough of it to muscle it into center field. That's a good adjustment with the swing as he sees the movement coming inside.
Boy, the offensive production that Craig Counsell has gotten out of his catchers. Bandy's 2nd time on base here tonight when there's been limited base runners. He's walked and has that single. Pena yesterday with a career high 3 hits. Arcia lays off.
And you can't say that that's a surprise because coming in you're not sure what you're going to get offensively. Bandy, nobody knew a whole lot about him. We saw Manny Pena a little bit last year, was swinging the bat pretty well in September, but yeah, I don't think that Craig Counsell could ask much more of his catching crew.
Well, we're all spoiled with the offensive output from Jonathan Lucroy for many, many years. Of course, he has a little different style of offensive results than these 2 catchers are giving him, but they're getting on base though. Some timely hitting.
Well, if you get good defense and just a little bit of offense that Lucroy provided for so many years, you got to be happy with that. There aren't too many hitters like Lucroy that catch.
Well, it's a transitional year to say the least, catching wise. Game 9 of the season. Bandy's got the bulk of the starts. Pena made his third yesterday. Here's the 2-2. Arcia battling at the plate. Arcia was robbed of an extra base hit by Bautista back in the second inning. He had to go back and reach up and almost make a backhanded play.
Yeah, that might have played it 2 runs.
Tapper to second. They'll get the lead runner and retire the side. Chase Anderson set to go to work. Bottom of the 7th. Blue Jays, and for the second straight night, Keon Broxton getting Milwaukee on the board early. A 2-out RBI double, then Villar the leadoff home run in the 6th inning off Marcus Stroman. That made it a 2-0 game, and it stays that way because of Chase Anderson. He has been dominating Blue Jay hitters from the mound. 6 strikeouts. And he's only allowed 2 hits so far as Milwaukee takes a 2-0 lead here into the bottom of the 7th inning. As you take a look at Chase's line so far here tonight, his pitch count at just 79. Now he came into tonight with an ERA of 1.50, and it currently stands at 0.75. He's cut it right in half. Second start of the season.
And both of the walks were issued in the 4th inning. One of them intentional to Tulowitzki. So he has been on the top of his game tonight.
He's got some challenges here with Morales at the plate and Tulowitzki waiting on deck. He's had 1 inning where he's been in serious trouble, and that was the 4th. The Blue Jays had the bases loaded, and he struck out Russell Martin looking to end it. And he gets Morales this time on the strikeout for the 2nd time here tonight.
Well, he has got these guys completely confused up to this point. There's a long way to go, but got ahead of him 2 strikes. Here's the changeup going down and away, and Morales swings right through it. Well, that's some big time move, and that started right down the middle of the plate. Incredible stuff tonight.
Here's Tulowitzki with 1 down. Base is empty.
It is awfully difficult to hit when you don't know what pitch is coming at any time in any count. I mean, Anderson has been not predictable in any sense tonight. I mean, he's been able to throw just about any one of his pitches for strikes when he wants to.
That is saying a lot if you're an effective pitcher and you can dazzle hitter after hitter. High fly ball left field. Neuenhuis coming in, and he makes the catch. Didn't have nearly as much carry as it sounded like coming off the bat.
Hey, MLB.TV Premium is back and better than ever. Watch every out-of-market regular season game live on over 400 supported devices. Plus, you get a free subscription to At-Bat Premium, the #1 app for live baseball. Visit MLB.TV for details.
Now it's Martin with 2 down. Anderson continuing a run that began in his final 12 starts a year ago. ERA around 2.5, and now 2 very strong starts so far. Still got some work to do before this night is over. And the game is close. It's only a 2-run lead for Milwaukee at this point. And you know the Blue Jays are thinking we just need to get somebody on and pop one and be right back in this.
Well, exactly.
More than capable of doing it.
Yeah, both of these guys really throwing well. Old school baseball here tonight.
And this one headed to the gap. Broxton can't come up with it, off the wall. And Martin trots into second base with a double and his first hit of the 2017 season. He was 0 for 20 to start.
Well, drilling that one into the gap over the head of Broxton. Yeah, fastball, one of the few times that he's missed his spot. Supposed to be away, ended up down the middle of the plate. Broxton not able to get there, so a 2-out double. Well, Broxton coming a lot of ground, not able to get there.
Here's Steve Pearce. Pearce had a base hit back in the 5th inning. But it was a swinging bunt. The Brewers eliminated him with a double play. The game's only double play. In fact, the series only double play. This one hit well. Broxton goes back and makes the catch. And just that fast, a 2-out double erased as Pearce flies out. But it's Anderson dominating and is the big story of the game tonight for Milwaukee. Protecting a 2-0 lead as we go to the top of the 8th inning, and we're going to see more of Chase. His pitch count in good shape right now as we take a look at our Wisconsin Lottery home run leaderboard. It's Jonathan Villar. He jumped out ahead of the pack with a solo home run earlier in this game, so he's got 3 on the season now. And it'd be nice to see the Brewer bats start producing some more home runs. Tight game here, despite the fact that both pitchers have pitched very, very well. Anderson has the benefit of a 2-0 lead as Stroman goes to work here in the 8th. And right away, Villar lines one right into left.
Kind of the way it's gone, right, for VR. That's why he was so excited in that 3rd inning. We got the base hit. He hit that one right on the nose, but right at Pearson left. That gets frustrating after a while.
That's the 4th time Villar has led off an inning in this game. The Brewers leadoff hitter. Here's Eric Thames. He had a double back in the 6th. First hit back in Toronto. Brewers well equipped at first base right now, the way Jesus Aguilar's come out of the gates with an outstanding spring and a good start here for Milwaukee. That's allowed Thames to work the corner outfield spots. And the Brewers didn't have to experiment with Thames out in the outfield until the final week of the season, because it was very apparent that Aguilar, and the way he was swinging his bat, deserved a chance to make the big league club. But he only plays first. Both hitting the ball well. This one shot to left, hit pretty well on the warning track. And Pierce makes the catch. That one had a lot of carry to it.
Yeah, he's strong. I mean, he got under it, but still able to carry it all the way to the wall.
Designated hitter number 8, Ryan Braun.
Quickly 2 down. Here's Ryan Braun. The designated hitter tonight is 0 for 3. He has grounded out all 3 trips up to the plate. Like many other Brewers, though, against Stroman. This one popped up right field, Batista. And this one made by Travis, the second baseman. He went a long way to catch up with that just into foul territory. And it's a 2-0 lead right now. Corey Knebel's on. That's all I've got. That's all I've got. Except the Jimmy John's delivery of the game. And Chase Anderson, Chase the ace. We like that.
Yeah, everything he was throwing tonight, he was able to put pretty much where he wanted to. Didn't make any mistakes. I mean, got the big strikeouts when he needed it. He had the bases loaded in the 4th inning. Got the strikeout of Russell Martin. And just another exceptional performance. Everything working for him once again tonight. As Corey Knebel takes over here in the 8th. He pitched last night a perfect 3-up, 3-down 8th.
2-0 Milwaukee. As you take a look at Knebel's numbers on the season, this is his 6th appearance, and he has been nearly flawless.
Yep, hasn't given up a run or a hit in 5 games so far.
So Anderson, 7 shutout innings, 89 pitches. And now the ball goes to a very reliable bullpen for the final 2 innings as Kevin Pillar bats here in the 8th inning. And first batter reaches with a base hit to left. Well, the Brewers starters have done an outstanding job, and Peralta and Anderson, their first 2 starts out of the gate have been very good. Peralta going 112 pitches yesterday in 6 innings, but boy, oh boy, to hold this Toronto offense to 3 total runs between them.
Yep, and only 8 hits. 8 hits in 13 innings. That's pretty good. 14 punch outs. Well, not much more Derek Johnson can expect from those 2 guys in this series.
And a pinch hitter for the Blue Jays as Justin Smoke will hit for Darwin Barney in that number 9 spot. 227 on the season for Smoke, 5 hits. He started at first base in yesterday's home opener. He's been the guy kind of targeted to take Encarnacion's spot as he left via free agency.
Yeah, big shoes to fill. Switch hitter. He's got some pop in his bat.
A tight ball game here between the Brewers and the Blue Jays. Milwaukee trying to go for the 2-game series sweep and trying to win their first series of the young season. The Brewers have not trailed in either of these 2 games against the Blue Jays. A 4-3 win yesterday. The 0-1 to Smoke is high to even it up.
Yep, 95 miles an hour. Pillar does not have a stolen base. He's been caught once.
Big swing and a miss by Smoke. Ball and 2 strikes down to the pinch hitter.
Yeah, Corey has shown a very good curveball so far this young season. Good velocity, throwing strikes. See if he goes to curveball down in his zone right here.
There's the 1-2, and he got him swinging.
Went up the ladder, up and in. Got him on strikes. A strikeout for the Brewers pitching staff today. Well, in the back of your head, you might be thinking curveball. Then he comes up and in on you, and way underneath. And no chance for Smoke on that pitch. Right at the top of the strike zone. His best bolt yet, 96.
First out of the 8th inning. Top of the order now, and Devon Travis. He is 0 for 3. Check of the runner. Villar over there at first base. Only a 2-run cushion for Milwaukee, so with a runner on, every guy coming up with the bat represents the tying run. Misses outside. Well, the Brewers traded Yovani Gallardo during the offseason of 2015. That brought Knebel from Texas. And in a short amount of time, he is making his mark on that trade. There's a strike on the inside corner, and you can almost say at that time when Yovani Gallardo was traded, that was maybe the very beginning stages to the rebuild that Milwaukee was thinking about with Doug Melvin in place. He made some deals along the line to try to get Milwaukee going a little bit.
Yeah, he has a good arm in that bullpen now to the Brewers, and Corey Knebel.
To short. And the relay in time for the 6-4-3 double play. And Corey Knebel gives up a leadoff single and then comes right back to attack this offense and relies on the second double play of the game. And the lead stays at 2-0 as we go to the ninth. The Brewers enter the ninth with a 2-0 lead over the Blue Jays. And here's a look at what's on tap, presented by Miller Lights. It's off to Cincinnati for 4. And Jimmy Nelson, who's off to a great start, faces Bronson Arroyo, who makes a return to the Cincinnati Reds. He hasn't pitched there for a few years, and he got hit hard in his first start of the season. Tomorrow's pregame coverage begins at 5:30, so we're looking forward to that series. The Reds off to a terrific start. They actually entered tonight's play in first place in the division as Ryan Goins comes in and takes over at third base here in the ninth inning. Travis Shaw leads off here in the ninth for Milwaukee. Stroman has pitched a gem for the Blue Jays. Only made a couple of mistakes. A 2-out RBI double back in the second inning, and then a home run in the sixth. And Shaw grounds out.
They have 14 ground ball outs now for Stroman. Able to get that baseball down in the zone. A lot of guys rolling over on it.
15 groundouts. My goodness. You need a clicker over there, Rock.
Is it 15?
Yeah.
I had 14. You're probably right.
We have one of the game's best statisticians with us. George is over here.
Well, I no doubt I'm wrong.
I can't take credit for that.
Let's just say it's a lot.
Santana into right. This falls in for a single. So 1-out base runner here in the 9th inning. See if the Brewers can get something going here and pad this lead. It's only 2-0.
Yeah, see if Neuenhuis can't get into one here. Get a little separation.
You never feel comfortable on the road with a slim lead, do you?
Yeah, especially the guys that Neftali Flea is going to have to face. Bautista, Donaldson, Morales, Tulowitzki in the 9th.
Yeah, it'd be nice if he got him 1, 2, 3 and wouldn't have to worry about Tulo.
Right.
First pitch to Neuenhuis misses. He's 0 for 3 in this game. Got the start out in left field here tonight. Ryan Braun, the DH. Broxton and Santana swinging the bat well here over the last couple of ball games. And Neuenhuis drills one into center, and oh, what a catch out there by Villar. He came in and went back at the last moment and threw his glove up in the air, and he's shaking his head saying, where did that one go?
Nearly misjudged it. It was hit so hard. Well, that's Kevin Villar, though. He might make a mistake on a jump, but he's going to be able to make an adjustment. And that ball actually was slicing back over his head, actually caught it behind his back. Check it out. I mean, that ball was slicing away from him and still able to make the catch.
That was a screamer off the bat by Neuenhuis. 2 down now for Broxton, and he delivered back in the 2nd inning with a 2-out RBI double. He's got Santana over at first base, running on contact. There he goes. Ball put in play, right field. Bautista trots back to the warning track and makes the catch. So the Brewers are done in the 9th. And now Phillies is set to come in looking for another save. A 2-0 Milwaukee lead. Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Potawatomi Hotel and Casino. Let the games begin. Rogers Center here in Toronto. Beautiful nighttime view of the downtown city. 2-0 Milwaukee, the lead over the Blue Jays as we go to the bottom of the 9th inning. And Neftali Feliz looking for his 3rd save of the young season.
Yeah, perfect 9th inning in last night's ball game. And preserving the 1-run victory for Willie Peralta. Big fastball last night, 99 miles an hour. And he's got the heart and soul of this Blue Jays order to have to deal with in the 9th.
First batter up is Jose Bautista. And Bautista half swings, but it's a strike. He had a base hit back in the 4th. He's 1 for 3. High 1-1.
98.
What did we see? 101 on the clock yesterday.
Yeah, that's what it said. That's getting it up there.
That was to Josh Donaldson when he was pinch hitting in the 9th inning yesterday. Tell you what, when he was announced as a pinch hitter, and if you're a save specialist out on the mound, it's best against best. And you know that Feliz, he said after the game, that got me amped up a little bit. He reached back.
Struck him out on a 3-2 pitch.
Here's the 1-2. Slice foul. Feliz made his Brewers debut last Wednesday against Colorado, and it was an unexpected appearance because it was a 6-run lead for Milwaukee. But he came in with the bases loaded in that 9th inning and got his saved 100 in his career. A little floater out the center. Arcia calls for it and makes the catch for the 1st out.
And a breaking ball, all these guys, I mean, we saw Knebel throwing breaking balls for strikes. Feliz throwing his slider / curveball. It's kind of a slurvy breaking pitch. He's throwing those for strikes, making the fastballs even more effective.
Here is Donaldson, and what a battle they had in last night's game. Donaldson the DH tonight, officially 1 for 2. He's drawn a walk. Struck out his last time up in the 6th inning. One of the most dangerous hitters in the game, Josh Donaldson.
Well, the good thing is, with nobody on, he can't tie the game. As long as you keep that tying run in the on deck circle, you can be aggressive.
Feliz has fallen behind 2-0. He snuck one in there right over the plate.
Another breaking ball. Looks unfazed out there. He's been here before. It's been a good strike zone for Jerry Lane, you know, both sides. Calling a lot of strikes.
Two 2-1 misses Hine inside. 3-1 now to Donaldson. Well, Feliz was shaking his head. He was mad at himself for falling behind 2-0. And now it's 3-1. And he lost him.
Yeah, that's not what you want. You don't want to walk your tying run to the plate. That's exactly what he did.
And Donaldson will be replaced by Jared Saltalamacchia, the pinch runner. Donaldson battling that hamstring, and it's really limited his ability to run at full speed. That'll bring up Kendrys Morales, who's 0 for 3. The switch hitter stays on the left side of the plate. Pulls this one foul.
Morales had a tough time with the changeup tonight, but Phillies doesn't have a changeup. He's going to attack you with that curve ball and big fastball.
Right back to Feliz, hits him, throws to second. The lead runner, the relay, is in time, and that is the ball game. Wow, just like a goalie here in Canada, Feliz knocks it down and starts the double play.
Boy, how about that? That just throws the glove down, keeps it close enough to be able to turn the double play. Brewers had the right guys running. Boy, what a game. I mean, this pitching staff last 2 nights, outstanding work. And once it gets into Arcia, it's an easy double play with Morales running. I mean, that's a base hit. Turns into a double play. End of game. Boy, a quick game here at Rogers Center. Brewers pick up a 2-0 victory. Nice.
2 hours and 14 minutes
on getaway day.
Not too shabby at all. The Brewers get the sweep over the Blue Jays, their first series win. What a performance by Chase Anderson.